Alright, what's good, y'all? What's good? Welcome to the channel. Got a lot of great information that's coming out in the automotive industry, a lot of juicy news. So, hey, let's not waste any more time. Let's just get right into it. So, news broke out this week that electric hypercar company Rimac has acquired a 55% stake in Bugatti, with the remaining 45% belonging to Porsche, aka Volkswagen. Now, in a press release on Monday, they stated that the new company will be called Bugatti Rimac. Now, the merger will still allow the two companies to work independently, but it will be acknowledged that the companies will combine resources and engineers for both research and development. Now, if you never heard of Rimac before, Rimac is a low-volume production car company based out of Croatia, and they specialize in electric hypercars, one of the best electric hypercars in the world. So the company was founded in 2009 by Mate Rimac, who is currently the CEO of the company right now. Was able to kickstart his company off by actually making all-electric E30 BMWs. That happened because at age 18, had his own BMW, blew it up, and the genius that he is, converted into an all-electric car. His name got out there around that 2010 time, was winning some competitions, some race competitions, and was able to produce many of these all-electric BMW E30s. The story of Mate Rimac is actually a very, very interesting one. Let me know down in the comments if you guys want to watch a whole video about the history of Rimac, Mate Rimac himself, and much, much more. Let me know down in the comments if that's something you wanna, if you want to see. Like I said before, the technology and the selling of these E30s basically kick-started this Rimac company, and by 2011, after only 3 years, 2009, 2010, 2011, yeah, 3 years. And after only 3 years, he was able to come out with his very first car, the Concept 1. Now, the Rimac Concept 1 was a crazy feat of engineering for 2011. Okay, we're talking about some stupid numbers, like 1,088 brake horsepower, 1,200 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds, 0 to 125 miles an hour in 6.2 seconds, 185 to 14.2 seconds. Crazy number. This is a fast car, okay? Concept 1 topped out at 190 miles an hour, okay? The more modern Concept 1s are now pushing 221 miles per hour. Only a handful of just, engine cars, gas-powered cars can even hit that mile. We're talking about Bugattis, Koenigsegg's, high-end Lamborghinis. Like, that is a crazy feat for electrical engineering. And the reason why Rimac is able to produce such staggering numbers when it comes to these automobiles is the fact that they got an individual motor, individual inverter, individual gearbox for each wheel, okay? So each wheel has its own little engine producing however many horsepower, and when you're able to provide that kind of power to each wheel, you can get some staggering numbers. Now you gotta remember, they're building all these parts in-house, like their torque vectoring systems, their electrical engines, and their parts have become so advanced that they're actually selling these parts to companies like Koenigsegg and the Regera. They're selling it to Aston Martin and the Valkyrie, selling to Jaguar in some of their concept cars. So the amount of time and engineering that's gone on these parts have really paid off dividends for this company, and really been a big contributor when it comes to producing some of these legendary cars. And the Rimac design, let's not even get started with the design. Absolutely a gorgeous car. Got free flowing lines, incredibly smooth, got a very futuristic look. Not really in your face like a lot of the hypercars, like the LaFerraris. Not a lot of like cuts and angles. The design of the Rimac Concept 1 is a very free-flowing looking design. And I'd say this is the time where, about 2011 to 2013, this is the time where people started to really realize that the combustion engine was starting to become very irrelevant, or it's not going to be the wave of the future. The fact that we were able to produce these kind of numbers in an automobile, it's no more games now. You know what I mean? Like this is definitely the wave of the future. And Rimac was definitely the supplier of that. Tesla was able to, provide electric vehicles for the masses, and Rimac was able to really show the world the potential of an electric vehicle. Now, the Rimac 1 weighs about 4,000 pounds, but in retrospect to other hypercars like the LaFerrari weighing at 3,700 pounds, like the McLaren P1 weighing 3,400 pounds, the Rimac 1 with its all-wheel drive system is more powerful than both of those. So I think it's actually quite an accomplishment with the battery packs and everything like that, how they can actually keep that car at a reasonable weight. It is easy to come up with the conclusion that the more powerful that these electric cars are, the more taxing it is on the battery. But somehow Rimac was able to squeeze 310 miles of range out of this car. To put that into perspective, my Highlander on a full tank of gas gets about 360 miles of range. So that's quite an accomplishment on its own, and this definitely makes the car very practical. Like you could drive this every day. Like this, you don't need to recharge it every hour or every 2 hours. You know, this is a very doable amount of range for an ultra hypercar going 190 miles an hour. This is sick, man. How do people not know this company? My goodness. You know, and it's really crazy to me how like Rimac has stayed under the radar within the media, within the public eye. Like all you know, you think about electric cars, it's all Tesla, 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 Tesla. You know what I mean? And yes, they created an amazing feat of, you know, a startup car company, you know, coming up from nothing, be able to mass produce electric cars for, you know, majority of people to buy. You know, that's a hard feat on its own. But when it comes to pushing the boundaries of electrical engineering, because that's what it's really all about. When you push the boundaries, that's where you see, you know, the potential of technology. You know what I mean? And the fact that we're able to see this kind of numbers from a fully electric car is insane. Now, the Concept 1 starts at $1 million, and I'm not gonna lie, I think that's pretty cheap because, and as crazy as you guys are gonna tell me I am for that, you gotta remember this is the forefront of electrical technology of the automobile. We're gonna look back 20, 30 years from now saying that this car was able to bring us to the next level of technology, of the electrical age of technology. And also, you gotta remember, they only made 8 of them. Now, how I actually found out about this company was in 2017 when Rimac actually gave one of these cars to the Grand Tour, and they did an episode to compare, you know, the future, which was the Rimac 1, the present, which was the Acura NSX, and the past, which was the Lamborghini Huracan. I think they had a Lamborghini Huracan, or no, Aventador. Yeah, they had a Lamborghini Aventador.
I can't speak fast enough.
James and I were now racing only to see who'd be last.
Yes, come on. Oh, let's go. Goodbye, Mr. May.
And eventually what happened, Richard Hammond unfortunately drove one of these off a mountain and burned one of these priceless cars. You know, luckily he's okay, but you know, one of these grail priceless cars are now gone. So instead of 8 of them, there's only 7 in existence. And basically 6 of them are basically owned by independent owners. But I just want to go in a little detail about that Concept 1. Very important car for one of the automotive industry and for, you know, the wave of the future. Like I said, we're gonna be looking back on this car 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now. So Rimac continued to release some other things like the Concept S, which is basically the Concept 1, but like a Pikes Peak track type of car. Then in 2018, they released the C2 at the 2018 Geneva Motor Show. You know, crazy car, 0 to 60 in 1.85 seconds. That's just hilarious to say. 0 to 60 in 1.85 seconds. Like, come on now. Top speed, 258 miles an hour, 1900 horsepower, 1400 kilowatt battery, 2300 newton meters of torque, 403 miles of range. Like, how is this company? You know what? Let me relax, because I'm gonna get pissed off talking about a Tesla. Man, people go crazy for Tesla, don't even know what a Rimac is. But yeah, now that we're a little caught up with Rimac, let's talk about this deal that just took in place. Damn, I stay breaking out. Ugh. Now this deal has actually been going on behind the scenes for the last 2 years now, and it basically started with the fact that Bugatti really wanted a hybrid system in their Chiron. Rimac basically said it would be cheaper to make a whole new hypercar that has a hybrid system incorporated in it. Now, instead of Volkswagen actually buying all of the new technology from Rimac, they came to a merger deal. And knowing Volkswagen, you know, they're not gonna fold. Okay, these are one of the biggest scammers in the game. You know, they're always 2 steps ahead. So Volkswagen, you know, they're gonna have that 45% share in Bugatti Rimac, but they also have a 24% share in Rimac Technology Group. So indirectly, they actually have, you know, full control of the merger. So poor CEO Oliver Bloom stated that they do not want to have operational control, and they basically allowed mate Rimac to be the CEO of all 3 companies. And this is where a lot of people have an issue with this deal, because, you know, Rimac is only 33 years old, even though, you know, age is just a number in my opinion. It's really about your accomplishments. Like I said, accomplishments equals credibility. Now, people also have an issue with, you know, Rimac, the fact that I guess they're not really considered a proven company. They're a newer company. In my opinion, I think this is the perfect type of merger. I mean, you know, looking at Bugatti, when it comes to engineering and development, they push the bounds of the combustion engine. Okay, they were able to make accomplishments that's no one ever seen before. The first ever car to hit 200 miles an hour. And with Rimac, you know, that's the same type of energy. You see the same type of philosophy, pushing the boundaries of electrical engineering, of electric technology to, you know, be produced in automobiles. Merger. On top of that, Rimac is upping its assets, got a $240 million facility coming in 2023. And I think Volkswagen has been trying to get out of Bugatti. Bugatti, you know, just for the first time in the last 5 years, have been able to produce a profit with the Chirons. You know, also Bugatti's been out of business 2 times. Back in 2005, when they were making the Veyrons, they were estimated losing about $6 million per Veyron sold. I mean, think of $6 million. How are you staying afloat with that type of loss? And let's not forget, Volkswagen is still recovering from Dieselgate. Okay, that's $9.5 billion they have to pay because they decided to be scammers. Okay, I don't think it's really about, oh, let's try to preserve Bugatti. Let's, you know, make Bugatti come into the next generation of technology. I think they're just really trying to, you know, recover from Dieselgate just to keep their car empire alive. But I'm very excited to see what Bugatti's got for the future. They said they're already going to release 2 cars by 2030, one being a hybrid system and then the second being Bugatti's first ever EV hypercar. So, hey, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section, and also let me know if you guys like these type of videos, these informational news type videos. I'd really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and that. My name is Zach. Appreciate you guys watching. I'm gone.